Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Just give me a second to get ready. Hold on. Testing, testing, testing. Alright, so my audio is working. I can't test if the game audio is working just yet. Hold on. If you hear something in the background, it's just the TV going on in the living room. Let me see. Get that and change this. Okay. Alright, we're good to go. We're gonna be playing more of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, or as you may know, the Stanley Parable 2, if you watched the previous stream. Last time we went to the memory zone, and then we went thousands of years into the future, and the narrator was no longer with us until he was again when we restarted. And then he showed us his plans for the Stanley Parable 2, which was a bunch of funny, weird gimmicks, such as a bucket and an infinitely deep hole, and collectibles that do absolutely nothing once you collect them all, and an achievement that doesn't actually work. And that's kind of about it. Oh, and balloons. But I don't think I showed this on the last stream, but whenever you first boot up the game, it asks you what the current time is, and now it's asking the time again. So the time right now is 6 p.m. It's about 6:03 right now. Yeah. Hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave this clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Oh, no problem, text. That's how I know that you care about this experience, you're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. They are. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Well, I mean, it's pretty close to my favorite time already. It's like, my favorite time is like 9 p.m. or something. That's probably like my favorite time, except on weekdays, because then I'm at work. But on weekends, it's like 9 p.m. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Thank you, text. The Stanley Parable 2. Alright. Now I actually, for one, I gotta change this back. Hopefully this won't screw up my recording. I don't think it will. I need to change this to 720p. Okay. Alright, that's good. Just making sure it's all fine. Okay, now I gotta test to see if the game audio is actually gone through. Oh, hello there, RotcodFox. For a second, thought it was Half-Life. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Game audio is working. Right. Now time to get into the actual game. Again, if you haven't seen this game before, I recommend either playing it or watching someone else play it, because this is all spoiler territory. Alright, let's begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons.
You love spoilers.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong.
Absolutely.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so last time we got the 430 achievement. And
no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And we had a bucket inside of us. Again, either go and play this game, or watch someone else play it from the beginning. If you haven't seen any of this before, I highly recommend it. I recommend just buying the game. It's only like $25. It's not too bad, but I understand that if people don't want to buy the game, that's fine. If they just want to watch people play it, here's the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms.
Oh, and we got stickers
a wave of
on the
comfort
bucket.
rushed over him.
Blue. Get well someday. Alright. I like doing this.
Stanley took the bucket with him into this little hallway and closed the doors. This was their hideout. No one would ever find them here.
It's their secret hiding
spot. No
spot.
one would ever find them anyway, because everyone was missing. But Stanley chose to ignore this fact and instead focus on how cool the hideout was. Just him and the bucket, two renegade heroes against the world, inside their secret, undetectable hideout, here, next to room 417. What a treat.
Yep. And there's a ladder and a little picture of a horizon or something. Alright, let's go.
No, apparently not.
Yeah, it's our little hideout. We just don't want to stay in the hideout forever.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nah, we'll go
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yep. It's a pretty nice room. There's a notepad. And some coffee cups.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yep. Alright, it's time to leave.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Maybe.
And so
Okay,
the two
sure.
of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Go down here instead. Hello,
Oh,
TR.
good Stanley. I'm glad you'd found your way here. I knew you'd find.
I'm watching two streams at the same time.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Adventure
Whee!
Line.
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Woohoo!
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I'm not giving up the bucket. Nothing will ever make me give up the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No, I don't.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
I don't like the
Surely
bucket
you don't need me to
destroyer.
spell it out for you. Go ahead now,
Does the bar
Stanley.
disappear?
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No, I'm good. I don't want to put it in the bucket destroyer. I love
Now
the
listen to
bucket.
me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket
The
Destroyer
Broom
merchandise
Closet
the
was my
fans will be
favorite.
clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get
Bucket
back to the
Destroyer's
classic
gonna have to get
Stanley
over
Parable
it.
characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
No.
Hurry and...
I will not destroy my bucket. The bucket destroyer destroyed itself.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Sure. but not as magnificent as the bucket. Alright, well that's one new ending. I don't actually know if I showed you guys the normal ending of that, but we can do the normal ending later.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This is more meant
Stanley
for like
to go to the meeting
people who
room.
have
Perhaps
already
simply missed a memo.
played this game.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'll show this one, I guess.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Oh, so bad.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was
Whatever that
buttons.
means.
He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Well, what a beautiful song. And now it's just gonna repeat over and over again, so we're gonna move on from that. Anyways.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Now I think it's time
Stanley decided to go
to
to
bring
meeting
the
room.
bucket out the
confusion and
window.
chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Maybe this bucket is a co-worker.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim.
Okay.
Opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
Oh no.
No, said the bucket. Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley,
No.
you did it. You saved us from the bucket.
No,
Thank God you
the
already
bucket.
had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
No, not the bucket. We killed the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
Somehow
to go
the
to the
bucket
meeting
was
room.
bleeding,
Perhaps he had
even
simply
though-
missed a memo.
I don't know how a bucket bleeds, but who knows? Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know, I suppose since there could also be newcomers to this game that have no idea like what this game is or anything, I guess we can do the normal ending. So let's do that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I wanna get up on this chair. Come on. Yeah, whatever. There's a way to climb up onto the table, but I couldn't do it. Broom closet!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay. Think we already did that before.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I was just checking the chat. Alright. Stanley figurine!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffer losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. No, panda. Let's go down. What lovely music. Okay, I'm back. I totally didn't use that time to do something else. Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, relaxing, calming New Age music. Hey, I was texting my mom while the
Feeling
elevator
soothed
ride was
and
going.
rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Hey, another Stanley fig.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stand.
Stanley figs.
Stanley fig.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanley is okay, I guess. I like mini stands better.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
We could go back up.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
This is one of the new endings. Is there always been a gap in between that? Okay, I just wanted to see if I could fall through.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Yep, let's go back down.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Wait.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
I want to go back up.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
It could be the boss's office. Guys, vote in chat now if you think it's the boss's office. Oh wow, it's the boss's office.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
That's good music, though.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
What an enthralling story.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it.
It's revolutionary.
That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Nah, we'll go back up. Not gonna say anything this time? Okay.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley.
Yep.
You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Very
There
slow.
we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here.
Woohoo! Press conference.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
The world's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did it. The pyramids. The guy who went to Mars. Stanley. Live on stage. World peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Stanley Parables. Stanley. I can't read that too well. The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley. Okay. World's first sentient machine. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. Okay.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Oh, thanks,
Okay,
narrator.
it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Yeah. The dude who came up with pizza. The Lord meet and greet. Stanley Ryder. Almonds, chair, gum table, nut bar. Is Ryder Stanley's last name? Oh, okay. The storyteller. 427. I played the demo. Adventure awaits. Wish you were here. Aloha from the Freedom ending. Narrator Airlines. Official. I went to the mind control facility and all I got was this lousy sticker. That's funny. Okay. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. It looks like where Jacksepticeye came from. Can't read that one too well. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs. Highs and lows, isn't that what life's about? Okay. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. That's funny. Okay. There's mini golf. Okay. Let's go on stage. Yay. Oh no! Ah! Did we have a heart attack? Oh no! Well, that's the end. Or is
Someone
it?
was following
The
Stanley.
end is never.
He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
The end is never. The end is never. The end is never. We'll leave the bucket for now. So I want to do something.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the
we'll
meeting
go
room,
to the
and
right
Stanley
door
knew it
because
perfectly
right
well.
means correct.
Perhaps he wanted to
and
stop by
therefore
the
the right
employee
door
lounge
is the
first,
correct
just
door.
to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room.
It is beautiful.
What a beautiful
gorgeous room.
room.
Okay, that's my phone.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, we did that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I've been
Someone-
neglecting this.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Maybe.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on
Stanley
your
figurine.
side. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Music and gaming, please don't spam the chat. Yes, I'm reading it. But I'll put you in timeout because you're spamming. Don't do that. Alright, let's continue.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Now glue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Like
Stanley
blue.
walked through the red door.
Blue. I actually like red more than blue, but in this case I like
I still
blue
don't
better.
think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Stanley walked through the blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Maybe.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
More vehicles.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new
I want to
design.
drive a
You can
moped
give me some
in the
feedback.
office.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. How do you beat the game in 2 seconds? We're very last. We have not been playing for 7 hours. Why not ask some friends? If friends listen to you. Alright. Mordor. Not
Now,
Mordor.
would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Sure.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
New game.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Go ahead, baby. Jump in the fire. The lovely fire.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Maybe.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for
the
playing.
fire's
Your
gone.
input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
The birds of Wyoming. Ah. Okay. Let's go.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Can be what?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh no.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice,
there's
big,
walls in here.
insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Trash can.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
In the original game, it was Minecraft and Portal 1.
Okay,
This time
so what exactly do we do here?
it's Firewatch and...
There are lots of cars here in the
Rocket
back,
League.
but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Sports
Stanley,
ball?
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ball! Oh man! Woo! I don't really love Rocket League all that much. I played it once and it was okay.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this
But,
fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Maybe.
Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls
so
makes for an
fast.
even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable.
More balls!
More balls!
Woo! Balls are amazing! Woo! Woo! Rocket League is an okay game,
Are you enjoying
but
this,
like,
Stanley? Are you having
I don't
fun?
know, their ads
Is this a
are really
real
terrible.
video game? Well, I sure hope you're having
Their
a good
ads
time,
make
because
me
guess
cringe
what?
like
It's
super
over.
hard.
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes.
I like
You
the
get
balls.
to have fun when I let you, Stanley.
I hit the
Besides,
balls with my
you need
face.
someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm
narrator,
leaving.
no.
See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
See you, narrator. I'm gonna go jump in a hole now. And... Wha-boom.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Wind. Five, 10. Man, it sure is windy in this place. Four, 2, 3. 4, 2, 4. 4, 2, 5. 4, 2, 6. And my number 4, 2, 7. Whatever these weird screens are. Okay, time to go.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I don't think
He'll
the
understand
wind is
soon what
supposed
I
to
was
be there.
trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Goodbye, narrator. And yeah, I don't think that wind is supposed to be there. I think it's a little bugged. Okay, we're back in the office.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Yeah, I wish. Alrighty. Well, I want to take the bucket this
Warmth
time.
spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure. We'll go left this time. All because I have a bucket. What's this? The completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. But you're pointless, to be honest. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? Oh, that's 3 6s. I thought it was just B. Mission status. Large room, lots of boxes. So that's in the warehouse. And stairs. Something to do with stairs. Well, I think we're about to reach there now.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh, no more stickers. That's okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We will in a second. I just wanna go down here. And
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
that he can't decide like what name he wants for the figurines. Figurines. What is that even supposed to be? Alright. Nothing changes, I don't think. But what if we do this?
Stepping in.
Spooky. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. And also a little bit of broom closet. Spooky and silent. Oh, what is this? What could this lead to? You are now leaving. Escape pod bay, floor 460. Okay, let's go then. Guys, I have no idea what is gonna happen next. I couldn't have possibly done this before on my own time. It's such a surprise. I totally haven't spoiled this game over for myself multiple times. Oh yeah. Forgot I should actually check chat. I kind of forget that the chat exists because I don't get very many chat messages. Oh, and of course it's just free Roblox garbage. Okay, thanks. Now you'll be put in timeout for spamming. Good job. And now we will continue to climb stairs. Can't see very well now. It gets darker and darker each time we go up the stairs. It's spooky. Spooky. Escape pod launch bay. Is it time for launch or is it time for lunch? Because I'm hungry. I'm always hungry though. Okay, Bucket. I think you know what time it is. There, Bucket, it's okay. The music makes it really sad though, because I'm a sucker for this kind of music. Anytime I hear emotional music with like harps and pianos, then it's really sad. The book is no more.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, that was a short hallway. Okay, let's continue.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The hallway was so short I didn't even have time to think about it.
The lounge was sublime. a work of art. What was it but eager to get back to business,
Nice room.
Stanley took the
Off the
first
wall.
open door on his left.
I'm thinking. Yeah, sure. I
And
don't
so
think
he
we've done it
detoured
yet.
through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Because this is my second favorite ending in the game.
But
Yeah, I
Stanley
kind of
didn't
have
want
to
to
do
go
it.
back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
You trickster.
No, not the right. Why would I have
I've
ever
been
said it was to the
bamboozled.
right? What was I thinking?
I've been
It's
Scabbledorf.
clearly...
It's not even a
David,
word,
hold
and I
on
agree with you. Great SpongeBob reference.
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This way. You got it, narrator. Totally not a spoiler.
No.
It's a
This isn't right
spoiler?
at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
Oh, no.
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
I can't close my eyes. I'll just shove my head against the
back
wall.
to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste
I
my
take a
time
peek?
trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Fine.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's no balloons.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear,
So
I definitely
many
restarted
doors.
the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
And
Did
guys,
something
the
change?
doorknob is kind of like a
Stanley,
button.
Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Stanley
Did you
finally gets to
move
press all the
story somewhere,
buttons.
or hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Let's go right. Let's just keep going right. Take whatever right turn is possible. Woohoo! Just keep going right. Well, that was fast. You keep going right. Oh, come on, game. This is not making any
I'll
sense
say
at
it.
all.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. Onward
All
to
of his
destiny.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I can't wait for there to be 2 doors at the end of this.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
This is not
I
2
might be remembering
doors.
this wrong.
There's
It's
0
possible the
doors.
story
Actually,
is
there's
back
only
where
1
we
door.
just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Alright, I guess we'll go through the one and only door that we totally didn't just come through. Secret room?
Aha!
Secret
I knew
room.
we'd missed something.
Woohoo!
The story. Here it comes.
Sorry, I was looking at chat and I just ran into some
No,
cabinets.
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Sure thing, narrator.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No. Okay.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
The Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Okay, let's go. Woohoo! Okay, I won't keep doing that.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
Destiny.
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
A half second of music.
This fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Oh, we must examine every leaf on this fern. I've never seen that happen before, where it's just like, no, it wasn't even a half second of music, it was like a quarter second of music. It just rushed through all of it.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
This is the only time we'll ever actually be able to get in this room. Monitor room.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
It said something there. I couldn't read it, though.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
This cup, it says, I like work, I just hate my boss. That's usually the opposite case for me a lot of times. It's usually, I like the boss, but I hate the work. That's how my current job is.
Now,
Alright, let's go.
yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
So far, it's a bunch of hallway
Oh, no, not you again.
and a line.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's not just any line, it's the adventure line. And it goes up into the ceiling. Goodbye, line.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Whee!
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
Stanley dies.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer
Earthquake.
stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
I want to get in this chair.
Okay.
Put me on the chair.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do...
The end is never...
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
How would you say? F1. Does F1 do anything? 1. Well, it mutes. But that's it. Okay. Well, let's move on with the bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt. Stanley clutched
Duplicated
the bucket tightly
bucket.
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
This isn't the real bucket. Alright, let's go. Stanley Fig.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I'm gonna do the normal ending with the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Maybe.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket was always guiding me.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
But guys, what if we go back up? with the bucket. Let's go!
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Well, come on, bucket. You just don't get it. You gotta press the number 3. It's the only way. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the... Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
8.
8. And let's go. I had enough of the number 3. For now.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Guys, I'm starting to think we might need to go back up and press that number 3
A hint
again.
of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Absolutely.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Come on, bucket. You gotta understand. It's the number 3 we're talking about. Don't you get it? You need to understand it's the number 3.
Said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Guys, I'm starting to think this isn't the real bucket. Because only the real bucket would know that the number 3 is the best number in the whole world.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
I think we need to press the number 3 just one more time. Let's go, guys. Let's go get that 3.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing.
You guys see that?
Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
There was a guy sitting next to a truck.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
3. Guys, look, it's the
This
number
was
3.
it. One last chance to win the bucket over.
3 again, 3
One
again.
opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
No 3? Okay. Up again, down again.
There was no one here.
No.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak.
What it really means
listen
to press the
and talk
number
about
3
what
on a
it really
keypad over and
means
over.
to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
No. The number 3 was unsuccessful.
All of his
Yes.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I guess
Stanley
the bucket
decided
will
to go
just
to the
never
meeting room.
understand the
Perhaps he had
power
Stanley
of the
picked up
number
bucket
3.
and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Oh, what the? Oh. Weird hallway. Alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Well, we do need a figure.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket was
Stanley
wrong.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
But you know what the bucket was
No.
right about?
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the
That's
meeting
right,
room.
about
Go somewhere else. The
getting
cargo
this
lift. Yes, go there. Go to the cargo
figurine
lift.
And there it
Stanley.
is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor this
Wiggly.
moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Well, what I was doing was going in this vent with the bucket. Because I don't remember if we did this without the bucket, but... oh well.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense.
There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
He did. Oh, that happened. Let's just pretend like it didn't even happen. Oh!
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers.
Figglies.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles. The Figgly Wigglies. The memory zone.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Okay. I don't like that. But now we have 7 out of 6. So that's gotta be good, right?
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
What am I looking at in this picture? Weird.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
This was the boss's office, I believe. I think so.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figgly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Well, I sure don't remember this room, but it is a nice room. It plays nice music. I think the 4th one was the red and blue doors, not pink room. Okay.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Ooh, video. Windows Movie Maker. Heck yeah. Windows Movie Maker was the first video editor I used, and it was terrible. I used it in like 2013 and 2014. And for some reason I tried to use it to make music because I didn't know how to make music. Thanks for watching. But yeah, I tried using Windows Movie Maker to make music when I was like 13.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I
Sure
spent a
does
lot of
take me
time
back.
making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
It was 8 minutes of pure work and dedication. Well, it's done that way. Okay. Boxes. You can kind of see through the box a little bit.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
It sure was.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
No.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
The past.
Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this.
More
I must
figurines.
say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
I just realized you can't even fall off of this. That's funny. I heard something.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Woohoo!
Yes, I love that video.
I sure do too. Figley! More pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
It is a very solid room. And I have no idea what's up there, but I see something up there. Oh, it's a box. Okay. Well, time to move on.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh, what the? You can see under the map.
This was our second Figley, don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Okay.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Gotta collect them all. Stanley Figs. Stiggly Wigglies.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. The time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I don't know why I have more jumps, but I can jump now. Woohoo! Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
They both lead to the same spot.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It sure is. Alrighty.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do I want the bucket? I'm thinking, yeah.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Let's go on an adventure bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind.
Sorry, bucket.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
There's so many more endings I could...
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
There's a bunch more endings I could potentially do. So I might save some for another future short stream, perhaps, because there's still quite a few more endings to do, I think. So we'll do one more short one, and that'll be it.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Well, not right now, I'm not.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to
Is
this
this a
point.
bucket?
Which, if that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it.
Is this a bucket?
This misunderstanding
it's a thing I
could
can
have dire consequences on the
stand
entire
inside.
rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. Is
Now
this
then,
a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Ooh, game
Simple
show.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna say no.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Guys, I wonder if this next one is gonna be a bucket or not. Write in the chat if you think it's a
Item
bucket or
3.
not.
Is this a bucket?
Sure. Woohoo!
Correct. This is a bucket.
That sure is a beautiful little bucket right there. Yeehaw!
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
So I'm not really sure. Is this a bucket? I have no idea. It's round and the top of a bucket is round. It has round wheels. And you can fill the whole thing up with water. So sure.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
But I really thought it was a bucket. It looked like a
Is
bucket.
this a bucket?
Well, surely this one's a bucket. Absolutely.
This is a bucket.
That is a real bucket right there.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Kind of looks half bucket and half not bucket. Well, I guess it's if a cup is half full, this could be half bucket, so sure.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Well, there's nothing there. But there is a bucket right there.
Okay, You and I both know there isn't anything here.
Well,
And
there's
I
a
don't
bucket right
appreciate
there.
the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Well, my brain hurts. No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
I am too.
I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Absolutely.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Guys, everything was a
everything
bucket.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
It was all a
Oh
bucket.
my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
I think we have time
Even now,
for...
Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
It was photo painting. Painting photo. I don't know. We have time for one more ending, I think. So do I want to bring the bucket or leave the bucket? I will... I'll bring the
Where are we
bucket.
going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I sure did. I didn't mean to interrupt him, but oh well.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket did not react? Except perhaps a tiny glow of warmth. Subtle, yes, but an unmistakable spark from somewhere deep within.
Did it react to me pressing the 3? Guys, it actually reacted. This is the real bucket. I think. I don't know anymore. Alright, let's go down.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Sure.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
But what if I jump off? Woohoo!
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Paninis.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley
Such a nice
realized
place.
that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Well, that happened. What if we... Phone ring.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
You're not real. What if we do the same thing without the bucket? Let's get to the bottom of the mind control facility.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Thanks, narrator. Oh, man.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's go. Oh god, I can't see anything.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
I probably should have turned the lights on before doing this, but oh well.
Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
A lot of good jobs you did it.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
What a lovely song. Well, that was something. Alright, well, that's about it for this video. No more messages in chat, but that's okay. Wait, I can I can just walk straight through the chair. Okay, that's funny. Anyways, this was a Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. There might be one more short little stream sometime in the future. I don't know about next weekend, because next weekend I think I want to play episode 1 of Half-Life 2. Because I said I was gonna get to that, so, and I've been really wanting to play it, so that's probably what we'll do next weekend. And maybe there'll be some more music too, if I can actually figure out some new ideas for music. But anyways, thank you guys for coming to the stream and watching and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys some other time. Alright, bye everyone. Goodbye.